Hey everyone, it's Mason with Barbell Black Belt. Today I'm going to break down everything that happened in the Taekwondo tournament that I've been preparing for the past few months. You've seen the raw footage. Now it's time to break it all down. And if you haven't seen the raw footage, what are you doing? Go see it. No! Just kidding, you can do whatever you want. Let's get into the point sparring. I'm going to watch it all right here and we'll break it down as we go. So let's start off the first match. So right off the bat, that switch roundhouse kick that I throw to get my first point. At first glance, I thought that I missed and that they had miscalled. But taking a closer look here, it looks like my foot sneaks right past his arm. If his arm is here, my foot barely taps him right behind the elbow. So they give me that one. Stuffed up here. Taking a closer look at that, I go for almost a question mark kick here. He dodges my kick nicely, and as he's rearing back here, you can't quite see it on the video, but he punches me directly in the face. Boom, right there. And then he takes my back. You can definitely tell that both of us have a grappling background. It's when in doubt, we grab here. So he comes around with that back spin kick, right into a roundhouse kick to my torso there, just as I'm extending my own kick. It kind of looked like I hit him first, but I definitely did not. That was a good combo. Good roundhouse kick. I threw that hook kick like that a couple of times. None of them really land. So right here, you notice I switch stances as the ref is talking to my opponent. And that's because I'm thinking, I'm going to throw a really hard backside kick here. But then you'll see what happens. I step, he steps right into me, stuffing my kick, grapples and then pushes me. And that was kind of dumb. Now the ref's telling him not to grab. He likes to throw those arcing punches. Right here's a better example of a clinch situation. I brace my arms forward to keep him far enough away from me that I can kick. And I throw a round kick here. Didn't quite connect for a point, but he definitely felt it. Boom, there with that hook kick. What's that? Choppy little kick. That kick barely missed my head. Good roundhouse kick. Right there, something interesting happened. So in the aftermath, it almost looks like I hit him in the eyeball somehow, maybe with my finger. If I did not mean to at all. The people in my corner were telling me that as I come up with the chamber for my kick that it hit him in the face, but I don't think that happened. My knee is quite a ways from his face here. I think he just got tripped up and was trying to fake an injury, but that's whatever. Right there we stuff each other kicks and he punches me in the head again. So that's the ref telling him not to punch me in the face. I think there he was telling me not to grab. From his perspective, it definitely could have looked like that, but it doesn't really matter because it's just a warning. I don't even know what he was trying to do there. The ref's telling him not to throw those hooking punches. I didn't think I did this at the time, but looking at the footage, I definitely kicked him in the nuts. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. The ref's telling me to keep my kicks up. Right there. That was a really good stop kick. I come in with my arms out, and his kick goes right to my Hogu. It was a good kick. So that puts me at a disadvantage 2-4. So at this point, all he needs is one more point in order to win. And I literally do the same exact thing. The camera cuts it off a little bit, but as you can see right here, my arms are out, and his kick goes right into my Hogu. Good kick that I definitely should have saw coming. So that's the end of that match, putting me in the loser's bracket, setting up our next fight here. So this opponent, definitely more mobile, less of a brawler. And again, I score the first point. It's kind of hard to see due to the camera angle, but I throw a round kick right here, hitting him in his Hogu. That kick there looks like it came over the top of my arm. My arm is over my body like this, came just around like that. And that ties us up at 1-1. That was a good kick. So he brings his foot up, making it look like he's gonna throw a middle attack. So my arms are in the middle. I smack his leg back, and as I do, it comes right back over, hitting me directly in the face. Very good kick. So they counted that kick for me, but looking back at the footage, it seems that he's blocking that with his hand. I could be mistaken, but it looks like he's blocking here, and my foot comes in direct contact with his hand. Again, I could be mistaken, but it looks like he blocked it. And that's what happens in these types of tournaments. Like a lot of hits that maybe should count don't get counted. And then again, a lot of really questionable hits that shouldn't count get counted. And that's just the reality of this type of competition. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Right there again, it's kind of hard to see, but I sidekick him right into his guard, and I think they just counted it because it was close enough to the Hogu. So that point put me 4-3, meaning I only need one more point to win, whereas he needs 2 points. And he kicks me in the face and gets 2 points. It grazes my headgear and then comes back around. So it's almost like he does a little pop pop. Good technique for point sparring. So that puts us 4-5. Unfortunately, meaning that I lose. So out of 4 competitors in point sparring, I unfortunately got 4th place, which kind of sucks, but we still got continuous sparring to do, so let's move on to that. Here we only had 3 competitors. So I started out against the same opponent that I fought in point sparring, but this time they're not going to stop us. So they counted my earlier body kick, that head kick, and then the 2 body kicks right after. So I already have 5 points. And that's all well and good, but none of his kicks are scoring. And he's had a couple in there already. Right here, he's starting to notice and get a little upset. I had no idea that was happening. I thought he was mad because he thought he was in point sparring still and not in continuous sparring. And in this round, his kick got progressively harder the more upset that he got, which I thought was really interesting. He pushed me into the ref. So they stopped us there to reevaluate the points, and that's why in this match it seems so jumbled around. It's because they were trying to figure out whose points were whose and what scored and what not, and everything was just kind of a mess. Boom, right there I had a really nice hook kick. That was probably my best roundhouse kick of the whole tournament right there. And I hate it because you can't really see it on the video. Good kick over the top of my head there. Nice good kick afterwards. I remember after that round ended, he didn't sit down with his corner like most people usually do. He was just kind of pacing around. And I didn't want to seem weak, so I stood too. And we walked by each other and he said, "You're wearing me out, man." I thought that was funny because I was definitely more tired than he was.
Okay, see ya.
So right here, they're still trying to figure out what's going on because the point system has me winning by point gap. And that's definitely not what was going on. They're fumbling, trying to figure it out. And we're over here fighting, and the ref's just trying to keep us from killing each other. Little tornado attempt there. That kick right there in my back was a good one. That too. Sorry I'm not talking too much. I'm doing a whole lot of breakdown here. I'm just kind of pointing out things that happen. I almost fell down right there. Okay, so right here at this point, his coach is getting really mad. He's like, "Why are the points not scoring?" That side kick there was right on the edge of being low. That back spin kick just looked sloppy. So, that's the end of that match. A lot of point difficulties in there, especially in the beginning. He was definitely a good fighter, light on his feet, good kicks. And it was a really good challenge being able to spar with him. I'm glad I got that opportunity. So winning that match puts me into the finals for continuous sparring. And since there were only 3 competitors, this opponent that I'm about to face has not yet fought. So they let me rest for like 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe it felt like 2 or 3 minutes. It was probably like 10 minutes. But they let me rest for a little bit, and then we went into the final match. Something interesting you'll notice about this fighter, he keeps his back kind of turned towards me, which limits my options going after his Hogu. But I later found out when talking to his corner man that he can't see very well. So he's at a disadvantage here, having to see me in his peripheral vision. Rewatching this fight, I'm actually really impressed with him. He throws a lot of little back hook kicks. Right there, we both went to kick at the same time and clinked shins. That hurt so bad. This picture here is from the aftermath. That didn't heal completely for like 2 weeks. Come to find out, I talked to him afterwards. I guess he trains Muay Thai too. Go figure. I need to start doing shin conditioning again. Oh, 'cause I'm weak. I got weak shins. Oh. Right here as he's trying to catch his balance, I did him good with a round kick to the face. Boom. And then I felt kind of bad because after I hit him, he was adjusting his headgear. And then I went for that sliding side kick and got him real good in the ribs. You can tell I'm tired in this last round if you look at my back foot. My toes are pointing backwards instead of forwards, which severely shortchanges my options when moving. Here, after I take his back, he smacks me in the face. Okay, final round. Here, he's ahead of me in points by 2, so I have to catch up in order to beat him. Head kick goes right over the top of the shoulder. Wasn't very clean, but they counted it. So that was really sloppy there, but they counted a couple of my kicks that were questionable. But that makes me the winner. We shake hands. And that win puts me at first place out of 3 competitors for continuous sparring. Overall, I had a fantastic time at this tournament. Even if I didn't win anything in point sparring, it was still really fun. I'm very happy to have had this opportunity to compete, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm a high-level fighter at all, but competing at the local level like this is just, it's always a good time. Now, unexpected things happen at every turn. And I think to end off this series of Taekwondo competition prep, I'm going to make 2 videos, one of them explaining the things that I love about Taekwondo competition, because there are a lot of things that I love about it. Taekwondo is one of my favorite martial arts, and it'll always have a place in here. But I also want to make a video of the things that I do not like about Taekwondo competition, because there are a good number of those. So stay tuned for those 2 videos. And if you've watched up to this point, I thank you very much. That's all I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.